If you've ever tried to lose weight but ended up right back where you started, I get it because I've lived it. My name is Brendan and I've lost over 150 pounds and have kept it off for over 10 years now. Before I was successful, I was stuck in that same try, fail, try again loop where I'd try the latest exercise trends, I'd try the latest recipes that I find on Pinterest, and I'd try to follow some advice that a fitness guru online told me to try, but none of it stuck. The reality is what actually ended up working for me has nothing to do with diet and exercise. And today, I'm gonna share that with you. Let me guess if this sounds familiar. You've reached a point in your weight loss journey where maybe the scale isn't going down, or maybe it's actually going a little bit up. You start to get very frustrated. The cravings, they get intense. A voice screaming at you so loud that you can no longer resist. You give in, justifying it by saying it's just one cheat meal. But that one cheat meal leads to multiple. You start to feel hopeless and that voice inside of your head says, you're failing again. This cycle starts again the next day, and then before you know it, 6 months go by, you fell off the wagon again. You're left sitting alone in your room, feeling that shame, that overwhelming sadness that you're always gonna be stuck here. And what you just went through was proof once again. If this sounds familiar and anything I just said are words you said to yourself, you are wrong. You deserve to have all those things and you will achieve them. You didn't fail this time because you were weak. You failed this time because you were fighting the wrong battle. This right here is me at 300 pounds, thick in that same battle. I didn't think that I'd ever be fit, healthy, and happy. I thought that I was meant to be as this obese, sad, depressed person. I was on the verge of getting kicked out of school. My girlfriend was about to leave me, and I was so depressed, so anxious. I was having daily panic attacks. It was just an extremely dark place, and if I didn't change something then, God knows where I would have been. But one night as I sat alone in my room, sad, depressed, I thought I had 3 paths to go down. Either I could continue down this path that I'm on right now, and God knows what's gonna happen to me. Path 2 was I could try the same things I've tried before. I could cut calories, I could exercise, but the chances are I was just gonna fail again because I've tried 100 times before. Path number 3, try something completely different. Rather than trying to treat the symptoms by eating less or eating more salads or exercising more, stuff that I've tried 100 times before, maybe I'll treat the actual root cause. The problem wasn't that food was just so darn good, or that exercise I didn't want to do it, it was too hard, or that I was just so lazy and just an over-consuming glutton. It had nothing to do with that. The real problem was the thoughts, the emotions, the impulses that were driving every action I was taking in my life. Those things were essentially controlling me. And what those little monkeys want is a McDonald's hamburger and to play World of Warcraft, not in alignment with my goals. And in that moment is when I stopped trying to be the perfect dieter or the perfect exerciser and started building what I now call the 3 pillars of transformation. Pillar 1 is discipline. Now, let's be honest, motivation is pretty good. It can get you started, but it burns up exceptionally quick. Think of it kind of like gasoline. But what happens when that motivation tank is empty and you're feeling sad, you're feeling lonely, you're feeling bored? What happens then? Discipline is like your backup tank that keeps you moving forward until your motivation tank is filled up again. It's about making non-negotiable promises to yourself. And my journey to discipline, it started with a very simple thing that I'm gonna share with you, and yours may be different. The office that I worked in had a gym, and I said to myself I would not have coffee or allow myself to have any lunch until I did at least 20 minutes on the elliptical. And looking back, no coffee before that was pretty evil of myself to do, but hey, it worked. Pillar 2 is resilience. And going back to our example where you've had a bad day and it throws you off and you're somehow convinced that because you had one single bad day that your whole journey's gone and you just throw it out the window. Building resilience helps you realize that those single moments of failure are simply single moments. They will not dictate your future. You just gotta get back on the train immediately. Resilience allows you to not be perfect. It allows you to say, okay, I made a mistake in this moment, but that's fine. Let's recorrect. And for me, the biggest test has always been the scale. If I stepped on that scale after starving myself essentially, and I see the numbers gone up, I didn't really understand weight fluctuations back in the day, I would get extremely down on myself. And I would say, what I'm doing isn't working. So why put myself through the torment? and I would give up essentially. But the time I was successful, I didn't allow myself to have that thought. When I saw the scale stay the same or go up, it definitely happened, I would say to myself, you're doing all the right things. Keep pushing on and you will see the results if you just keep on putting in the effort. That was building the mental resilience of seeing these negative things happen, but pushing through. My biggest piece of advice for you is when you encounter the thing that always throws you off your path, challenge it. Don't allow you to. Tell yourself this very powerful thing. What you're going through right now is an entire lifelong journey. It's not a lose 50 pounds in 50-day challenge. This is you changing your life for the better. And a momentary blip does not throw away all your future success. Pillar 3, mental mastery. And arguably, this is the most important pillar, but also the most difficult pillar to build. This is where you need to be brutally honest with yourself. Ask yourself, why are you in the situation that you're in? Examine your thoughts, examine your impulses, write them down on a piece of paper, get them out into the physical world, and challenge them. And it might bring up some pretty deep and dark thoughts. I know it has for me, but it's part of the process, and I promise you'll be better for doing it. And because you're going to be raw and open and honest with yourselves, I'm going to be raw and open and honest with you. My father left my mother and I when I was a very young child. It left really deep wounds. It presented itself in anxiety, depression, panic attacks, overconsumption, obviously because I got to 300 pounds, a lot of self-doubt, self-hatred. And I'm not gonna lie and say it was immediately obvious that night that I had a moment of clarity and that was what I discovered. No, it took a lot of time and a lot of work on myself to realize that. But what I realized by going through that is those thoughts of anxiety, of self-doubt, of impulsiveness, they were controlling my life. I decided to fight back and rise up and challenge those thoughts and not allow them to dictate my future success. And I know you have the power to do the same. It just takes that raw, vulnerable step of putting them out and facing them. Building these pillars is real work. It's not something that's gonna happen overnight, but I promise you it will be life-changing if you put in the effort to build them yourself. It's gonna help you to get back on track when life gets tough because you have built that foundation that allows you to get out of bad spots. I want you folks to do something for yourself tonight to start building the pillar of mental mastery. Sit down with a notebook. Try to reflect on the time recently that you had a big craving for something really bad, even though you know you shouldn't. What were the thoughts and behaviors leading up to that point? Did you have something really bad happening in your day? Did you have a bunch of anxiety? Write that down and challenge it. Be prepared for the next time this situation comes up. That's it. That's the first step. And that's the type of work we're going to be focusing on here on this channel. We're not going to be trying to give you guys a crazy fad diet or the latest exercise routines or the promise that you're going to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, because that is just BS. I'm here to help you folks make lifelong change that's gonna last and stand the test of time. And if that sounds exciting to you, hit the subscribe button right down below and share this video with a friend who you think might need it. Let me know the biggest struggle you folks have in the comment section down below. I'll be reading and replying to every single one of them. Thank you so much for your time and best of luck on your journey.